Well, welcome to Jennifer to the Rescue. I'm Jennifer Johnson. Yeah, it says it right on the screen. Jennifer Johnson, jennifertotherescue.com. I'm your lyrical appreciation expert. And yes, what do? I connect you through a lot of different things here, this multimedia platform that Wofford Theater is so nice to host us every week. And I do thank Logan Street Signs and Banners for being my sponsor. I do music and I do cards and gifts, and I introduce you to great people, and you just happen to be one of the great people. And this week is Pastor Doug Gast from Bethel Lutheran Church. And once a month we try to talk about what's going on at Bethel Lutheran Church, usually the first Tuesday of the month. We used to do Wednesdays last year. I still have a hard time getting that out of my head.
Right.
I'm here, it's Tuesday. But Pastor Doug, it is, we're in early March.
Right.
What's going on? Well, you know what? Who's Pastor Doug? I mean, I know you, but tell us about, and your Bethel Lutheran Church. First of all, where's Bethel Lutheran?
We're at 206th and Cumberland on the north end of town, out kind of in the farming area out there. Got 10 acres. Well, we got more than that, but we got more. We got plenty of space to move around and do stuff, so we're good.
Yeah.
And we've been around for a long time. We're in Cicero for many years. And we've been in Noblesville area here now at 206th and Cumberland for the last 17 years now.
17 years. I was going to say, we've been members probably about 17 years. Because we moved, when you moved, we were with you.
That's right.
Joined,
and the girls were helping build the church.
Yeah, my little girls that are now getting married and everything else. Pastor Doug's doing the wedding. Yes, that's pretty cool. But so, yeah, 17 years. Oh boy, time goes by.
It does. It does.
It does. So who is Pastor Doug, though?
Well,
that's a hard question.
Yeah. A lot of things.
Yes.
Kind of like you. My big thing right now is being Pop. Because we have two new little granddaughters, so we've got 7 grandkids all totaled now, 6 of which are 3 and under.
Oh my goodness.
But a lot of things are going on at church. We're in the middle of getting Lent going and preparing for Holy Week now, and we're using the theme "When God Whispers Your Name." And oftentimes when we think God talking to us, we think of kind of weirdos on the street. But I think most of us would say that we felt God prompting, or God nudging us, or have those feelings where God has been moving in our life. And on Wednesdays we have supper at 6, and then devotion at 7. And we have 5 really neat people from church who are sharing their personal witness and story.
So one person a week shares through. So Lent season began
the 25th. Let's see, the 18th of.
So we've had a few.
Yeah.
So when is Easter? There might be people who don't know when Easter is.
Easter is April 5th.
April 5th. Is that early? Or is that late?
That's about in the middle, right in the middle.
Kind of the middle. So we've got a couple more weeks of Lent, so
right.
A couple more Wednesday night services, and then go ahead. You were.
And I'm putting finishing touches on Palm Sunday, which is the 29th of March, and we have 4 services, and so they'll all be the same on that weekend. 5:30 on Saturday night, which is a good service. You often come to that one.
Yeah, Saturday night's nice.
And then 8 traditional. 9:30 is kind of a blended service, and our 11 o'clock service is our praise service. But we're going to be doing a narrative reading of the Gospel of Mark for Palm Sunday. And then Maundy, Thursday, we'll be celebrating the Last Supper with Jesus. And it will be First Communion for about a dozen of our kids. And at least the ones that are not out on break at that time.
Right.
Or still at home. And then Good Friday, we've planned 7 last words of Jesus from the cross, and we'll be sharing that. And then on Holy Saturday, our 5:30 service is kind of a bridge between Good Friday and we're not quite to Easter yet. So we usually start in the darkness and we'll end with a He is risen kind of thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then Sunday morning we've got 4 services, 7 out at the
my goodness, that's
out
right.
at the
sunrise. which is typically what we try to go to, at least get to that one for sure, because that's wonderful to me. There's a sun
outside,
is riding. Yes.
Yeah, and we got a great vista of
Yes,
the
you do.
sunrise. So, and we've got a shelter so that if it's raining or kind of misty or whatever, we're within that, and we try to have fire and something to drink, a little coffee
Hot
or something.
chocolate or coffee or whatever. We should mention, you should go to BethelLutheranChurch.com for more information, I'm sure, about the Lenten services and the different. I'm glad you told us about the different times on the services, because we've had people, different members of the evangelism committees have been here, Risa Helgamo and Leanne. We've been trying to just let people know there's a lot of opportunity. You don't and this is a great time as you're going into in Lent to get a lot of different wonderful opportunities to meet Bethel members and greet, and come on a Wednesday night, have dinner, right? They can do that, right?
They can do that.
Because it is
dinner is welcome for everybody.
Dinner is welcome. I know. Then the Saturday night service is a little bit more laid back, and but then the Sunday, and then obviously on Easter you've got the extra services. There's really no reason that you can't find something to just come if you're trying to find a church home, or just want to meet some nice people, which I would say that's why we go to Bethel. That has a lot to do with it. Now, just before we go to break, we're going to come back in a few minutes, but I do want you to say, you were telling me you've been with Bethel for how many years?
24 years now.
24 years.
May 1st will be starting my 24th year.
Oh, wow. Wow. And the church itself is
159 years old. We were started in 1856, and there was 3 churches at that time. One was in Arcadia, one was in Cicero, and one was directly across the street from where we're located now.
Really? I didn't know that. Maybe I did know that.
On the other corner there. There's a little house on there right now, but it was the school was on the one corner, and then the church was on the other, and then just down the street is the cemetery that everybody
at that time. I do know. Okay,
yeah.
So they came together to create.
Well, once the car and transportation got a lot easier up and down the road, people could travel, the 3 miles to Cicero, and it wasn't an all-day project.
Right. That's true. That's a good point. So that made a big difference. And then, 24 years ago, you joined Bethel.
Right.
And you were in Cicero for how long?
We were in Cicero from, we were at the church there in Cicero from 1930 to 1998.
Okay.
And then in 98 was when we moved into our new building.
And to me, that just seems like yesterday, I'm telling you. We will be right back. We're going to just make sure we've covered all the bases today, since this is our once-a-month visit, and we'll be right back to Jennifer to the rescue.
Good.
When Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage: Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters, with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
Welcome back to Jennifer to the Rescue. I'm Jennifer Johnson with Pastor Doug Gast, and I go like this because, yes, I'm so glad to have you on my show.
Good to be here.
Thank you. And we just would like to say very quickly a thank you to Logan Street Signs and Banners for being our loyal sponsors. And yes, you can find me at jennifertotherescue.com. I always forget to tell people that. I always forget to do that. And I am a lyrical appreciation expert, and you're never going to meet anybody else that does that. But I have a variety of tools, and one of them is this wonderful platform here. Every week I bring wonderful guests, and we have been talking about Bethel Lutheran Church, which Pastor Doug Gast is the senior pastor and the head of the coach and everything else. Talking about the Lenten services, right, which we're not quite in the middle, but had a couple of weeks, and then Easter is April 5th already.
April 5th.
And the week, if somebody is not familiar with Holy Week, there are a number of services that they can attend. There's also the weekly Wednesday night services, right. I should say that. So if you're looking for something to do on a Wednesday night leading up to it. Now, the week of Holy Week, though, there is no Wednesday.
No Wednesday on that.
But there's Thursday.
Thursday, Friday. And in fact, we're having a noon service on Thursday, in case people can't get out in the evening. I know that some of our older folks don't like to drive in the dark, so they like to come when it's still light out. So we're gonna have a noontime service, and it'll be service of communion, and we certainly welcome anybody and everybody to join us for that. Well,
you can definitely check BethelLutheranChurch.com for information. The phone number is, as you see, 317-773-4315. Pastor Doug does a lot of stuff at Bethel, so he's probably not going to necessarily be the one to answer, but we know that he's leading the whole thing.
Trying to lead the charge.
Leading the charge, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. So check that out. But what else? Can you give me some other?
Well, after Easter, we've got what we're kind of excited about. It's something we started this year because we wanted to help people grow in their discipleship and their walk with the Lord. We've been doing what we call Bethel University, and we're offering 3 courses at a time. And so that everybody has an opportunity adults have an opportunity to choose. Coming up, we have a class on Martin Luther, and then we have a class on Heaven is for Real, if you remember the movie. So we've got the class that will be talking about heaven and the reality of heaven and knowing where we're going at that point. And then Wise Together, which is going to be a study of Proverbs. And Proverbs is a fascinating book of the Bible that has great wisdom from 2,000 years ago that is very relevant for us even today. So that's always fun, and and we try to do them in 6-week sections.
Okay. So
that you don't have to commit for a year or a long period of time, so that you can do the class and we do a fall class, a winter one, and then a springtime one.
That's what I was actually looking. It is, and it's something that you do kind of want somebody to register for, right?
Yeah, we have. We just put the registrations out on the website.
It is
and
on
in the narthex too. Oh, and we have what we call Zip, which is for the kids.
Yeah, I saw that too, and my kids are too old. But what's that about?
That's Chris Lingenfelder, our youth director.
She's been here. Yeah.
She's leading that, and it's fun activities that they do for the time that the adults are doing their thing. So on Wednesday night, we try to have a full a full array of things for people to choose from.
So I was just going to say, so if they came on a Wednesday night and they're like, well, I've always got to get my family dinner, there's food too, isn't
Oh
there?
yeah, Bethel does not do anything
I knew
without
it.
eating together.
I knew it. There's food. There's food. So that starts at 6.
Starting at 6, and we're gonna start our classes just about 15 minutes earlier because people said, an hour doesn't give us enough time.
Oh.
So we're gonna
That's
at
kinda cool.
6:45 we're gonna start, and come eat, and the kids can go to their area, and the high schoolers have midweek. Junior high school upstairs with Joe Rudy, who does a wonderful job with them, and the kids love it up there. And then the others will scatter around according to the size of the class.
No, very cool. So that zip to me just sounds kind of like, I'd like to know what that's about. That sounds like fun. So I'm glad. Now we were talking about if you go out go out Cumberland to 206, Bethel Lutheran Church just sits right there.
Right there, right in the
it's
corner.
funny because if I'll say to people, I go to Bethel, is that the one that sits right there? So you said earlier that it's out in the country. It is.
Right.
But when you're approaching it and you're going north on Cumberland, and it is quite the sight, which I know that was part of the plan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and at night it really looks really cool.
It really does.
Really, really cool. Now you said receiving new members this weekend.
We're
So
receiving
you're
new
always
members.
there's always what you call discovery classes.
Discovery
right?
class is about 4 times a year. We'll have another one at the end of May and early June, and receive new members again in June. And then once we hit summer, it's a whole nother thing, and we'll be doing the rummage sale again. And
Rummage
that a
sale.
lot of people know and are familiar with, so they come to that.
And that's usually, and I know we saw it in here, it's the June 5th and 6th, I
right.
think, probably the first weekend
Right.
of June. So you got that. What else do you have?
Well, last year, you remember we did something we just do stuff. And so last year
If
we
it
decided
works, it works.
we decided, why don't we grow some sweet corn?
Oh, that's right, you did.
So we had a half acre of sweet corn that we sold after church on Sunday morning. We had each weekend a pickup just loaded like this, and it was some of the best sweet corn I've ever eaten. And so we're going to do that again this year, and that'll be fun. The kids in July are planning the canoe trip, which is
Right, canoe trip.
up to the
Goodness.
Boundary Waters.
You're not
And-
going?
Probably not.
Oh,
I can't this year. I have a wedding in Spain with our German foreign exchange
Oh, that's
student.
right. You have all kinds of things going on, don't you?
That's going to be busy. So
No canoe trip. But that's all right. Joe takes them, doesn't he?
he's taking them up there, and he knows the ropes now, so that's good.
So not in a nutshell, because there's no way. There's so much going on at Bethel. But I would say check out Bethel Lutheran Church. This is a great time of year. There's so many opportunities. You got the Wednesday night services right now for Lent. But there's just so many opportunities. If you're looking for a church, or you just say, boy, those people seem to have so much fun. There's no reason you can't find a way, and you don't have to be a member to come to any of these events.
Absolutely.
You do have the discovery class, but nobody's required to go through that before they
Right.
can go to, right?
They can take part in anything and everything.
And you might stick around for 17, 18 years. I don't know.
There you go.
We did this kind of thing. So we're just really happy to have you here today.
I'm thankful for inviting me. It's always good to be here.
Thank you. Well, we'll look forward to next month. I don't know. Maybe it'll be Pastor Doug again. I think we just got you because you had a little lull as you're getting ready for all the stuff.
Right.
But thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. We do have, just one second, do you have anything that you'd like to, little upbeat kind of?
I would just say Easter is probably one of the best times if you haven't been coming to church, to come to church, and you'll just feel the Spirit, because the Spirit has been moving really strong in our congregation right now, and there is such a good positive feeling. It's the church at the best.
There we go. That's from Pastor Doug's mouth. And check out BethelLutheranChurch.com, and we will see you next week. Have a good one.